So one of the challenges is chief learning officers, training organizations are all focused on regulatory compliance. And we got to do a lot more than cover the regulatory compliance piece because organizations have to learn. CIOs, CTOs, folks that are focused on innovation have an opportunity to change that paradigm by allowing organizations to access the right content at the right time instead of being stuck behind the technical debt of an old LMS or an old technology that keeps individuals from actually achieving their best. I think the hardest part in digital transformation for CIOs is their inability to understand where all the moving parts are, right? What's the business model shift? How's marketing going to do this? What's happening to the brand? Are we hiring for the right talent? And so traditionally we've seen a lot of shift to chief digital officers where some CIOs play that role. Ultimately, we think the chief digital officer role is going to go away. We called it in 2010, but we know that it's going to be gone by 2025. And the reason for it is we're going to have digitally enabled CXOs, the finance person that gets new subscription business models or new ways to actually count revenue, the HR person who's actually hiring for digital artisans, the CIO that's actually building platforms that are agile enough to support these new business models, the CMOs that are looking at the market and saying, hey, we need to support digital marketing and brands, but I understand the limitations of what we're trying to do. And so we see more digital CXOs evolving, and that's probably going to be more important than the CIO or the chief digital officer because everyone's going to have that skill set. For organizations that are looking at digital transformation and saying this is just hype, we're in the middle of a trend cycle, and this is not going to impact me, I think they'll already start to see the impact of customers leaving. You're going to see partners leaving platforms that no longer serve their needs. You're going to see employees leaving because they're not getting their requirements. And so you see that in organizations that are dying. The companies that are thriving and moving forward are the ones that are innovating, not just in terms of the technologies or the business platforms that are happening, they're also investing in their people and giving them the right skills. So is digital transformation relevant to those Ubers and new companies that were born in the cloud? And the short answer is yes. They're just as paranoid that they're going to be disrupted because they were in the act of disruption. And so they know anything can happen. And you can tell if you look at companies like a Facebook or a company like an Uber or an Airbnb, they're already trying to prevent the next disruption from happening. And in some cases, they've disrupted themselves. Do organizations that were born digital address digital transformation differently than legacy organizations? And I say, no, actually, it's human behavior to say, look, we made it, we're doing a great job, let's keep things going, it's not broke, so why change it? Those are very human, that's basically human nature at work. And so what actually happens over time is they get stagnant, they get complacent, and they've got to figure out how to disrupt themselves, or they go away.